Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the JayCast.
I am back. What it do, baby?
And we're back. We're back. What it do? What it do? Hope everyone's having a great week, great month. It is November 8th, and today marks 1 year since the deadly wildfire, the campfire that wiped out paradise. And it's such a weird day. It's so weird. And it's going to be weird forever. November is just not one of my favorite months anymore. It doesn't seem like it's been a year since the fire wiped out paradise, but here we are. It feels like it was like yesterday, really. It feels like it was last week. It does not seem like a year. It's crazy. It's been a year and people are still misplaced. You know what I mean? People are still struggling to get back to normal. And that's just horrible. It sucks, and it's just a weird day. It is. So I would like to take a moment of silence for those who lost loved ones and those who lost their lives. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy to it's been hitting me harder than really now than it has like in the past. Um it's it's just to see, especially it puts the whole event that went down with all these Netflix like documentaries and just all these documentaries about the fire, about November 8th, 2018. um have really like I almost wish I didn't see them, but I'm glad I saw them, just because I feel like they do need to be watched. I know a lot of people want to forget about it. There's been a lot of talk, the last year about the fire, and people don't even want to bring it up. They don't want to talk about it, which is totally understandable. I totally get that. But at the same time, you gotta remember the day, because it was just a terrible day with the deadliest wildfire in modern American history. So, you know, and people lost their lives, and I think we should remember them, celebrate their lives, and just never forget what happened, because it was crazy. And everybody knows who is from Paradise, or even who's from Chica, knows how crazy it was. And like watching these documentaries on Netflix, it really like you really see how devastating it was, how crazy it was for people trying to get out. It was insane. The Netflix documentary was insane. I started, it was hard to watch. It really was. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine being a parent and not be able to have my kid while evacuating. That is insane. And then seeing the kids getting all choked up and from the smoke and whatnot on the bus. And shout out to those teachers that helped them out of there, and the bus driver that helped them out of there. That is insane. And just shout out to all the first responders, the police, the firefighters, the people working at the hospital, at the Feather River Hospital. I mean, you guys are true heroes, really. And man, what a crazy day. And here we are a year later. Still people who are still living in paradise still got to live with it. People who just went through it are still going through it. It's insane. It really is. And you gotta just hold your head up high and keep it moving. You know, um, it's hard, and for those who still live in paradise, it's hard. It's hard driving through that town every day, seeing all the you still see all the damage, all the burnt trees. You know, you got to deal with all the construction workers and everyone helping to rebuild paradise. It's crazy. It's you know you gotta keep trucking, keep your head up high, and you know sooner or later things will get better. Things will start to feel normal again. And you would think maybe after a year later things would feel normal, and that's just not the case at all. And like I said, it does feel like it was just last week. Um, I mean, you got kids, you got the kids, who are attending the schools up in Paradise that they have a commute to school. It's not like they're not living, the kids in high school, they're not living a normal high school life. You know what I mean? Like they're some people are just living with their grandparents so they can attend Paradise High School. Their parents moved elsewhere, but they want to stay in Paradise, to go to school there. And it's insane. It really is. Like I couldn't even imagine. They're not even getting the normal high school life that they deserve. Even last year when the fire happened, they had to go to school in like these buildings out by the airport in Chico. It's so crazy, you know. And it's insane because I've been thinking about just every time you talk to somebody who's from Paradise or who's lost their home in Paradise or who lost a loved one, and people that you may know that you've made that you've known forever, and then you look at them, you talk to them now, and it's like it's not the same. It's you look at them and you can tell there's just a lot of loss in in their face, and just with everything. There's just so much loss. I remember when the fire first happened, seeing people that I hadn't seen in a while, and I see them after the fire, and you're talking to them, and they're like, "We don't know what we're gonna do. We're never coming back." And to me, at first, I took like, "Oh, you're not gonna come back. Like you're just gonna leave Paradise. Like that's it." And I kind of I was like, "Oh, man, you can't do that. Like you gotta come back." But now I just like, which I totally get why they'd want to leave and just get out and just forget about it. Like try not to remember it. They've lost everything, and I get it more now than I did when it first happened. I do. I was like, it was just like still shocked. Like, you can't leave Paradise. You can't. Like, yeah, how are you gonna do that? But I totally get it now. Like, just get out. I mean, and plus, it's been a year. Even people who are trying to move back, they still got to build a house, and it's a long process. It's a really long process. So, I totally get it now. Not that I didn't get it before. I was just like, you can't leave Paradise. You know what I mean? But like then I think about just like the loss on people's faces, like seeing them just so people that I looked up to, who I thought like nothing would hurt them. Like this person's always strong. They've always got a chip on their shoulder, and seeing them just so devastated and low, and just it really hurts. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And it still happens. You still talk to people and they're still sad. You see people posting on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, whatever, every day. Just, I wish things would go back to normal. And unfortunately, this is the new normal now. Every November we're gonna have to live through, be reminded of this. And it's so crazy to me too. Just one day you're just living your life. You have your life, figured out. You got a job, you're living, you got a house, with kids, if you have kids or not. And then within like 3 or 4 hours, everything you've owned or everything, everything that it means the world to you is just gone. Just gone in a matter of hours like that. It's so hard. It's so hard, and it'll take years. I mean, this is now the new normal. Like I said, it's just how things are gonna be. And I hope one day. Like I said, it just sucks just driving through paradise. You're reminded of it every day. You're reminded of it. Just the burnt trees, um, the burnt homes, the stuff that still hasn't been cleaned up yet. It's crazy. But on a more positive note, it is nice to see things growing back. Plants, trees, you know, uh, just grass is just growing back and coming back to life. And more stores, more restaurants are opening back up. Like things will get better. Will it be the same as before? No, but things are gonna get better. And it's just horrible. It really is. And you're always just this time of year. Every year, you're just gonna sit down and you're gonna think. Like you're just gonna start thinking about it even more and more. It's so crazy, and I totally get why people. People post about it It's a year later, and people are posting about it every day because it's that big. It's that big of an impact. It's huge, and some people just don't get that. People from other counties, people just from not from Butte County, they don't really realize what really happened, and until they probably watch a Netflix documentary, or if they watch one of the documentaries about the fire, then they can really know, like, oh, like this was horrible. Um, it's not Paradise is not like any other town. There wasn't there. There's no major highway. Going through Paradise, so you could just hop on the highway and get out. It's insane. It's insane, and man, it's been hitting me hard lately. I don't know why it has. But I also want to give a big shout out to the Paradise football team, Paradise Bobcats high school football team. Big shout out to them. They just finished their season with a perfect 10-0 record, which hasn't been done since 2004. And for those of you who played, were part of Paradise football, you know how hard it is to finish a season undefeated. A lot of look, we haven't done it since 2004. A lot of 11-1 teams, a lot of 10-2 teams. A lot of them. And so that I'm so proud of the football, that whole football team and the coaches. They really deserve it. They've worked hard. They, last year they got their playoffs cut short because of the fire. They're about to go into the playoffs, and then they couldn't even play because the fire wiped them out. And Red Bluff was so kind. I'll never forget. Red Bluff was so kind to actually even forfeit the game. They said they would forfeit the game so Paradise could move on to the next round. But obviously they couldn't play the end game. It was just too much. So I never forget the love around the north section, that gave Paradise, and it just any town. It even doesn't even have to do with football, just everything. Everyone who helped out, and Chico, taking pretty much 50,000 people down into Chico. I know people were getting frustrated with that, with the traffic and whatnot. Got people living at Walmart for months in the parking lot, for months. It was insane. It's crazy. So thank you thank you to everyone who helped. Thank you to Sierra Nevada Brewing Company for making the Resilience beer. Wow. Made over $3 million, like $3.8 million. That was insane. That was so crazy. So shout out Sierra Nevada. That was so amazing. And it's so funny now, like Sierra Nevada means something different now to me, at least. And I feel like to other people as well. You see somebody, have a Sierra Nevada shirt on or sweatshirt or, a lanyard or even just drinking a Sierra Nevada. It always just brings a smile to my face. And I'm like, yeah, that's a company I'm behind right there, Like that's what, that's all I drink now is that good old Sierra Nevada. And just just couldn't be any more happy with what they've done. That was so cool. That was amazing. It really was. And then how many other breweries, got on with them and was like, "Yo, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna make this beer, and all the profits are going straight to the Campfire Fund." That was amazing. And shout out to Redwood Cove Brewing Company. That's my sponsor. I don't think I mentioned them yet. Always coming at you with those heavy hitters. Always. Always Redwood Cove. Boy, yo, shout out to the CEO, Eric Jensen. He was also a part of the Resilience beer. He brewed a batch himself. So shout out the RCB. But yeah, it's crazy. So thank you to everyone who helped. There's this other podcast I like to watch, the H3 podcast. They held a huge charity event for the campfire and raised lots of money for Paradise. So shout out them. You guys are amazing. Just everyone. Shout out to everyone who helped. It's insane. It's so crazy. But yeah, back to the Paradise football team though, man. 10-0. That's so crazy. 10-0. So proud of them. Like really, and they're really the beating heart of Paradise right now. It's like the only thing that we really got going good for us right now is the football team, and just finishing the season 10-0 after what happened. They didn't even know if they had enough players to field, field the whole 11 players out there. That's why they went to the independent league. They didn't even know if they could, they didn't know. And, everyone came back. People, like I said, some players are living in trailers. Some players don't even live in Paradise. Some players' parents don't even live in Paradise. They live elsewhere. But, they're staying with family. They're staying with other family members. Staying with friends just to attend Paradise and to... and to play football. And it's crazy. I just couldn't imagine like they're not living a normal high school experience. They don't get that normal high school experience. So, and the fact that they just went 10-0 and just finished the season. But the crazy thing is they may not even make the playoffs. In fact, that'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow, the CIF is holding a meeting to see if Paradise is even going to make the playoffs, which is crazy to me. I know they're an independent league, and the way the league works is in your league, you get league points, per win or something like that. And since they weren't in a league, they have no league points. Pretty much, the Notre Dame and BYU of high school football in that independent league. But, man, you finish the season 10-0. And what they've gone through, and they had, their season was cut short last year because of the fire, and you gotta have them in the playoffs. You can't cut their season short again. That would kill these kids. Football's the only thing that feels normal to them, God, you can't. They gotta make the playoffs. They have to. You just don't go 10-0 and not make the playoffs. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because if you look at the north section here, let's see if I can bring it up. Let's see. No, let's do this one. Yeah. Northern section Division 3 rankings. In the rankings, like, this is not like the playoff schedule rankings. This is just the complete rankings of like your overall schedule. And Paradise is number 3 in Division 3. They for sure should make the playoffs, right? But they're not. Unfortunately, they are ranked 9th. Bobcats 9th in the latest rankings. they trail Orland. Unbeaten Bobcats trail Orland. And if you go back to this, Orland is a 5-4. 5-4. And so Paradise is, and these are, and that's things they don't go off this. They don't go off these rankings right here for playoffs. They go off this this guy right here. So this is like the playoff rankings as of now. Today is Friday, so there'll be some games tonight. I believe Sutter plays Orland, and if Sutter beats Orland, I believe that means Paradise does get in that last spot for the playoffs. But if Orland beats Sutter with the upset, then things might be different. So Paradise ranked ninth right there. Ninth behind Orland, Wheatland, Corning, University Prep, and Live Oak. I'm not going to talk about the top three because the top three in Division 3 are good teams. Those are solid teams. Okay, those are really the top. I would say West Valley, Sutter, Lassen, and Paradise. They would be the top teams in Division 2. Division 2 really slacked this year, and I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying that like a Chico that's 8-1, their only loss is to Sutter, and they lost 40-0. 40 points to nothing. So, and then it just drops off from there. 5-4, 5-5, 5-4, and then 3-0-9s. And so, yeah, that's insane. That's so crazy. But yeah, Sutter, West Valley, Sutter, Lassen, and Paradise. They're running shit out there in D3. They're running it, and that's why you gotta have Paradise in there. You gotta have Paradise in there. Another thing too is give the people what they want. All right, give them what they want. And what I mean by that is we want a Paradise Sutter. I should say those who played at Paradise, we want a Paradise Sutter game. Or a good old classic West Valley Paradise. That's some good, classic Paradise, just northern section matchups right there. Those are you gotta have it. You got to. And if you don't, then northern section. Shame on you. I do see Sutter beating Orland tonight. I do. Realistically, that's probably what's going to happen. And no disrespect to the other teams. I just think, Paradise ain't losing. Right. I'm telling you. It could happen. I'm saying upsets happen all the time. They really do. But, let's go here. They're not going to, they wouldn't lose. Like I said, anything could happen. It's football. Anything can happen, right? But I'm telling you, they deserve to be at least in the 4 spot. At least. Okay? They deserve to be in that 4 spot. Give West Valley, Sutter, and Lassen, their top 3 seeds there. But they should be at the 4 spot. But honestly, I don't think it really even matters. I don't think it even matters. Let's see. If you look at this northern section Division 2 rankings too, man. Like I said, it just you got the second place or the second ranked team in D2 is Pleasant Valley at 5-5. Granted, they've played a tougher schedule, they have, but at the same time, 5-5. Shasta 5-4, Foothill 5-4, and then of course the 3-0-9s. Enterprise, Red Bluff, Los Plumas. But yeah, it's crazy if you look at these. Like if you were to look at these, you'd think automatically Paradise is gonna be, they're gonna be in the playoffs. But like I said, since they are not in the league, it's not how it works. And there's been talk like this whole year about how they're gonna do the playoffs with Paradise, and so we'll see what happens. That happens tomorrow in Red Bluff. CIF has a meeting in Red Bluff at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So, but like I said, I did hear that if Sutter beats Orland, that they would make the playoffs. But I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. And you never know. CIF does some wild things. They always do some wild things. So you never really know. You got to be ready. But, but shout out to these boys right here. Shout them out. bam, look at that. Shout out to the squad getting ready to just, play some CMF Mountain football. I love it. I love it. Man, this shit gives me goosebumps. These kids have been through so much. They deserve to be in the playoffs. They deserve to go win a section title. They deserve to maybe even win a state title. These kids want it. They have nothing else to lose. Win themselves one of these bad boys. Go get it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, CIF, you gotta have them in. You have to. They deserve it more than anybody. They deserve it. You know what? They deserve it. I'm just gonna say it. They deserve it than any of these teams out here trying to make the playoffs. I'm sorry, they do. They've worked hard. They've been through more than any of these other kids have been through. And let them play. Let them get in there. Honestly, let them be the last seed. They don't care. Let them be the last seed. Let them play a West Valley early. Let them play a Sutter early. They're going to be great games. Those will be great games. Great games. Just D3. And shout out to D3 too. Shout out to D3 out here just running shit. Absolutely just, representing the northern section. Doing a better job than Division 2 did this year. And, those are some West Valley, Sutter, Lassen. Those are some good teams right there. Lassen almost came up with the upset last week against West Valley, but they couldn't do it. They ended up losing. Lassen ended up losing 13-7 in a tight ball game. So, yeah, I just feel like you have to. You got to put them in the playoffs, man. They deserve it. They deserve it. There's nothing else to it. And then even if you combined Division 2 with Division 3, the rankings, this is combined. Paradise is at 4, and just the whole northern section in general. So this is not even included. This is just northern section combined with Division 2, Division 3, Division 4. Number 4, geez, that's their ranking. You know what I mean? And then you go to the playoff ranking, and then they're ninth. They're not even in the playoffs. Wow. I mean, they absolutely deserve it. They 100% absolutely deserve to be there. And you're gonna make a lot of people. You make a lot of people unhappy if you don't put them in the playoffs. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get, you're not gonna CIF. You're not gonna get a lot of love if you don't. Okay, I mean they deserve it. They got their season taken away last year, and now you have the power to maybe take away their season. It's just not right. It's not right. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm sure, I'm not sure. Who knows? CIF does some weird things. So, but I really hope for the kids, for the town, for everything. I mean, it's a national story. It is a national story. And you have, you gotta, this story continues. This story needs to continue. And until they lose, then, the story will still continue. But I'll tell you one thing, it will be one big twist of a story if you don't put them in the playoffs. And that's for sure. But anyways, yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out real quick tomorrow. But hopefully they do the right thing. And if it is true that if Orland loses tonight, if that's true and we make the playoffs, then there shouldn't be a big deal. But who knows? Things go. I'm not 100% sure on that, and things are always crazy in the northern section when it comes to football. So, anyways, all right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. This was just a quick little part. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to, give some Paradise some love. This is a crazy day. It always will be a crazy day. Just shout out to everyone who helped helped people from Paradise, just who helped the town of Paradise. Shout out to the whole Butte County community for helping. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to the first responders. Shout out to the firefighters. You guys are the real heroes out there. Getting people out of there safe. Shout out to the people working at the Feather River Hospital, and shout out to the Paradise Police. Shout out to everyone, all the first responders. You guys are really the true heroes, and shout out to the people people who just helped people get out. Everybody, just shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole Paradise community, to my CMF brothers and sisters. Paradise strong, and we will be okay. We'll be okay. Always look up. Always just be proud of where you came from. A lot of people always think, "Oh, I want to get out of here. I hate this place." Well, you hate it until you lose it, right? So, just don't forget where you came from, whether you liked it or not, because that's part of who you are. So, anyways, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for listening. Shout out to Redwood Cove Brewing Company. Shout out to Sierra Nevada as well. And shout out to the Paradise football team. Love you guys all. And as always, stay classy, San Diego. Stay classy. And we're out.